Dave, obviously it's been a difficult week this week. What's it been like for you?
Difficult week, like you've just said there. I think it's never a nice situation when people lose their jobs, especially when you've become so close to them, working with them so closely every day. And ultimately, as a group, you feel an element of responsibility. You need to take a bit of self-reflection required. So it's been a very difficult week from that respect.
Have you had to do anything different with the players to lift them and get them ready for the weekend?
No, I think naturally after a defeat as well, there's always that emotion of disappointment, and it's important. And now added to some of the players have been in this position before. You know, when there's a change of manager, it's never nice. But ultimately, it's only the people that are at the football club now, the training ground every single day, that can turn it round. And it's important that the message was we stick together as much as we can. We come in, we work as hard as we can, and we finish the season as strong as we can.
And it must help, obviously, you knowing a lot of the guys from your playing days and obviously the caretaker manager spell you had earlier in the season too.
Yeah, it probably makes it a tiny bit easier, but at the same time, as I said before, these situations are never easy. But ultimately, it's myself and Eddie's responsibility to make sure we get them ready mentally and physically as quickly as we possibly can to make sure we go to St Mirren and get 3 points.
Have you learnt anything from that first caretaker spell going into this one that you can kind of add into your coaching armoury?
I think it's more, I've developed more as a coach up until this point. I was very fortunate, obviously working with Sean and Gary, that I learnt a lot in such a short period of time, and then having previously worked with Jack as well. It's been a roller coaster start in terms of my coaching career, but one I've thoroughly enjoyed from a development point of view. Now, results haven't been good enough. I think everybody would agree with that, which is why we find ourselves in the position we are. But ultimately, selfishly for David Gray in a coaching capacity, I've learnt a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah, and you said there, obviously this season results, especially in the league, haven't been good enough. What's your aim and you and Eddie's aim going into the final 5 of this year? What do you want to achieve?
Well, we need to finish 7th. I think the message is very clear to the players. I was very clear in the first morning, Tuesday afternoon, which is, if anybody thinks coming in towards the end of the season that there's nothing to play for, absolutely not. There's expectations at the football club where we need to be finishing the season as high as we can, which is 7th, with as many points as we can accumulate. I think that has to be the aim moving forward. Our objectives this season were to finish in Europe, which is a top 6 finish, finishing in Europe and competing in the cups, which we've done well in the cup competitions, but ultimately we failed in our league campaign. And it's only us as a staff and players that can try and put that right towards now and the end of the season and finish as strong as we can, so that we've got a momentum going into next season.
Yeah, and obviously you're back in charge at St Mirren. A weird coincidence. These things seem to happen in football. What do you expect from them? I expect
they're a team that's like everybody. You're in the bottom 6 now. The attention turns to you're playing against teams that are fighting for their lives and scrapping, and that's what I expect at the weekend. And I expect us to do exactly the same. We need to go into that game playing as if it's the most important game of the season, because that's what it is. It's the most important game, and ultimately it's a place that's always a difficult venue for us to go, and that's what I expect moving to go there. Sorry.
And in terms of team news, do you expect to have anyone back? Maybe Josh Doig?
Josh, he's trained. We'll just have to see how he's reacted from training. And obviously, but we'll lose Ryan. He's suspended again, or he's still under suspension. So that would be the only one that's coming back at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously, like you say, for players, you were very strong in your message to them that there's still things to play for this year. It's been a difficult season for the supporters as well, but they could still play a huge part in us helping to achieve those objectives that you just said.
Absolutely, I think it's important that we do that. I think it's important that as quickly as we possibly can, we put the disappointment behind us now, and we need to move forward, because at the end of the day we get paid to win football matches, and the supporters want to come and see a successful team. They deserve it. They've been fantastic all season, and I think it's important that as players and as a staff we all take responsibility to make sure we do that between now and the end of the season and get some momentum finishing the season as well as we can.
Dave, good luck on Saturday, and thank you
very
for
much.
speaking to us.
Cheers.